Hi everyone and welcome to a new episode of Intuitive Queens podcast. So I'm your host, Mara Marchesi, aka The Intuition Queen, and I am here to help you understand a little bit more about yourself. My passion as an intuitive creative coach, a healer, psychic, it's to help you understand how to connect to your intuition, help you to trust it so that you can take action to release any form of wounds or limitations that might come from generational trauma or any other situations, that you can also create the life that you desire and tune into your frequency of abundance, of love, whatever it is that you desire in your life. And this podcast has had a lot of stories. We are at the end of the year. By the way, today it's Christmas, so for everybody of you that celebrates Christmas, Merry Christmas. I hope you're having a good time. I hope you're spending Christmas with the right people and you're having a lovely time. But if that's not the case, please make sure you protect your energy. Please make sure you don't let yourself be triggered by situations and what people say, because we know how it is when we are with family and friends that are not necessarily supporting ourselves. And I know that I'm speaking to a lot of people. I've had a lot of Christmas by myself and they've been the most amazing. But anyway, this is not what I want to talk to you about. We are at the end of the year and this podcast is also about to come to an end. There are going to be 2 more episodes in the new year, and then I'm going to take a break and recharge and create something more amazing for the next season. So since it's the last episode of the year, I like to do a year in review and help you understand what has your intuition brought forward for you. And the reason for this is because it's something that I do all the time. Like towards the end of the year, I look back at the things that I set myself for at the beginning, that I said I wanted to achieve, all of the things that happened, the difficulties that I had to overcome, and I kind of do an inventory of my life. And do I feel like I have achieved what I wanted? Do I feel like there's still work that I need to do? It's important for me to get to this point. I normally do it when my birthday, which is in July, which it's perfect because it's like middle of the year, and then at the end of the year, because there is the whole year I look at, and it gives me direction for the new year. Although you might already know what is it that you want to achieve and accomplish in the new year, or what are the things that you want to shift or change about yourself, about your life. Sometimes we're not that clear. Sometimes also we forget all of the positive things that happen to us. We forget that maybe something that seemed to be not so positive turned out to be the thing we needed to go through in order to move to a better place. And so that's why I think that doing a year in review and really looking at how your intuition helped you is really helpful to move forward and then create new intentions, new goals for the new year. One of the things that I wanted to know also is that I know that for a lot of people, 2024 has been pretty challenging, and I can say that it's been the same for me. A lot of things that I had set up for myself did not pan out in the way that I wanted to. And now I can see why. Now I can see how that has helped me to deepen my trust in my intuition, deepen my connection with myself, deepen the value and the worth that I give to myself. And I know that a lot of you might be looking at me and be like, Mara, what are you talking about? You're the intuition queen. Your connection with your intuition is already strong, or should be. But the thing is that we are always going down or up a level. So for everybody of you that is into whatever path you are into, there is always something more that you can learn. There is always a deeper level you can get into. And I feel for me, this is what has been. And I also know why. In numerology, number 8, which is the 2024 is a number 8, and I am a life path 8. So The energy of number 8, it's all about doing all of the things that are necessary to get you to your definition of wealth, your definition of prosperity, your definition of success. This is what the number 8 is about. If you have this energy in your chart, most likely you are someone that is looking and is seeking success and wealth and money and love and all of those things that make you feel successful. Now, success is a definition that changes for everybody. Wealth is a definition that changes for everybody. And so is abundance and love and all of that. So see how that is for you. And so in order for us to get to the higher level of all of those things, oftentimes we need to go through difficult moment. We need to go through challenges, and those challenges are only there to help us see what we need to work on, what we need to work a little bit more on, what are the patterns that we need to release, and what are the things that we need to dive into a little bit more. And I know this has been the same. This has been what has been for me. And I can see that now very clearly. I have been thinking about how I did not achieve some of the things that I wanted so badly. And now I can see how there was something missing and something had to happen in order for me to get me to tune into that thing a little bit more. And one of the things that I know has happened for me, and I can tell you has happened literally in the last week, is realizing how I needed to deepen my connection to my value, my self-worth, how naturally in doing that, my connection with my intuition also became deeper, and this level of trust that I always talk to you about became even more deeper, and a deeper sense of peace came to me. And this is what I'm here for, as a life path hate. My mission is to go through those challenges in order to help other people to get into the energy of wealth, prosperity, love, and abundance. And so I am the first one that has to go through those things. So I want to talk to you about this, and I want to help you figure out how your intuition helped you this year. Where are you at? What are the things that you need to release, and how you can move forward in the new year? Now, I can hear some of you being like, Mara, my intuition doesn't work very well. My connection with my intuition is not so deep. How can I do this? And there is one thing that I want to tell you. Your connection with your intuition is going to get deeper if you allow it to be, if you give it space, if you give it time. My connection with my intuition has always been strong, and I'm sure it is strong for you too. What makes the difference in connecting to your intuition is how much you give it space and how much you trust it. Now, that doesn't mean that you're always going to be able to trust it, to feel it, to listen to it. It doesn't work that way. We have learned not to trust ourselves for a variety of different reasons, which is very different for everybody that is listening. And so you need to find your own personal way and go through your own personal journey to slowly get yourself more connected. For me, I know my intuition has always been there, especially when I needed to make very big decisions. However, I also know that fear has also always been there. And oftentimes, for smaller decisions, I might have made a decision out of fear rather than out of intuition. And so as I started to get into this journey and I realized intuition was something that I wanted to talk about, I wanted to teach, I wanted to help others understand what it's about and how they can use it. This was because I realized how important and how powerful were my decisions where I listened to it all the time. I went through my journey of doing a little bit of that and a little bit of tuning into fear, rather, which is so normal. So it really depends on how much you give yourself time and how much awareness you have of yourself. And look at what happened over the year and see where you were able to tune into your intuition and trust it and take action from there. And when instead maybe you push yourself a little, you were too impatient and you let fear or any other emotion get in the way and made a decision out of that. It is super normal. We need to learn to understand it. But the more you trust your intuition, the more you take action based on your intuition, which, by the way, it's going to feel peaceful when you do that. When you take action by fear, there is something within you that is still restless or constricted. So look back at your year and look at all of the things that happened to you. Where was your intuition? Where did you make decisions based on intuition? And when did you make decisions based on fear, on worry, on things like that? And can you see what happened afterwards? Where did those actions take you? This is going to help you to feel more keen to trust your intuition next time, because you're going to be able to see what happened after you listen to your intuition and what happened after you listen to your fear, your worry, your sense of urgency, whatever that is. Because when we tune into our intuition and we allow it to give us messages and we trust it, then it is very easy to get synchronicities coming through. It's very easy for us to get things happening at the right time. Divine intervention is always there, especially when we're making decisions how to our intuition. So this is really helpful to get you to really recognize. Sometimes, especially when I talk to clients and people in general, sometimes we don't give ourselves credit of the things we have done that actually brought us to a good place, that actually made us feel good. But we're really good at looking at what didn't go right. So the reason why I want you to look at the review and do a review of the years to see what went wrong, but also how many things went right. And give yourself credit for that, celebrate for that. Because maybe out of 10, 7 things went right and 3 things went wrong. And so, you kind of the uphill over there. So look back at synchronicities that might have happened. What kind of big decisions did you take that were led by fear or intuition? What are the small decisions that you made that actually helped you to move forward? And I always write a lot of the things down, and I am always very grateful for everything that happens, because I do realize sometimes we do it in hindsight. After the thing has happened, we're like, oh, I realized I had to go through this challenging moment in order to see this big truth that actually helped me to make this important decision that I'm feeling really good about. Although I had to go through this difficult moment, I know why this happened. And if this difficult moment had not come to me, I would have made a decision on the same thing following fear. So this is why I want you to see that, because the more you trust and the more you tune into your intuition, the more you can attract something better. You can attract divine intervention, and divine timing are just going to be right there. Like my intuition, I can see in the last 6 months has gone very, very deep, and manifestation is coming very quickly, to a point that I am surprised myself how quickly, and I need to be careful what I'm saying. And it's always like that. There are gonna be times where you feel like you are in this magical moment where everything comes to you very easily, and that means you are in flow. And then something happens that gets you off track, and things start to go a little bit slower and not so much and in the way that you want to. When that happens, it really is just about understanding what's going on and reflect on what you need to do to put yourself back on track. And normally what that is that maybe you didn't listen to your intuition, you decided to listen to someone else, you decided to listen to a different emotion, and so that took you off track. But there is nothing to worry about. Everything happens for a reason and is there for you so that you can actually see what's next. One of the conversations that I had a lot this year with fellow coaches, entrepreneurs, was that it was very heavy, and a lot of people felt like they were pushing and nothing was happening, and so they had to make decisions that weren't necessarily the ones that they had envisioned at the beginning. And I know this has happened for me, and I had to make decisions that weren't necessarily what I had anticipated at the beginning of the year. But I do realize now that all of those decisions were based on me pushing, when really I should have got into my natural flow of abundance, my natural flow of creativity, my natural flow of me. And, I talk a lot about learning to understand your own blueprint, energetic blueprint, and I use human design and color therapy to do this. But sometimes we need to go through the same pattern again and again and again in order to see it. And the more we do that, the less we need to face the next time. And I know for me, that was a pattern that I had seen before, that I thought I had worked on, and I had to go through this sense of urgency to realize that actually that's the thing that was holding me back. That's the thing that was not allowing me to be in flow. And I had to make a decision that wasn't necessarily what I wanted. But in making that decision, I then realized on a deeper level that this is what I needed to do. And in order for me to stay in flow, I just had to let go of my mental timing, my desire to get to a certain level, get to a certain point, and just tune into my creativity, just tune into my intuition. And sometimes we just need a little bit of a hard lesson to learn in order for us to really tune into. Now, as I said earlier, I can see why that happened. I can see how that happened in that way, and how now I'm like, oh, thank God this happened, because I have become way more aware than I was before. And I know this is part of my journey, because as I said, this journey is for me to unlearn all the things that are holding me back, unlearn all of the patterns, release all of the fears, so that I can help you do the same. And I know this is what it is for me, and I have accepted my mission. But for a lot of us, we have to go through the exact same thing we want to help other people with. So if this has happened to you, I really hope that you can see this. But one of the things that I would suggest you do is really take a piece of paper and write down what big decisions you have taken this year, what small decisions you have taken this year. How did you take these decisions? Were they based on fear, on urgency, on your desire to be seen, to be loved, whatever? Or were they based on a sense of feeling good, even though you didn't know how to get to that thing? You didn't know what would happen afterwards? Because it's all about learning to release this desire that we need to know and control everything. The less we control, the more we are in control, because things start to flow. So I want you to look at this, and then I want you to look at what are the synchronicities that came through for you, in terms of people that helped you, things that just happened out of the blue, moments where your manifestations power were very strong. Sometimes, we're like, oh, I wonder what is that person doing, and then you meet that person on the street, and then the conversation takes you somewhere. So I want you to look back at this, and then I also want you to really be honest with yourself, and ask yourself, how are you feeling? Are you satisfied, or do you feel like something missing? You should have done something different? Because one of the things that I want you to release at the end of this year is judgment towards yourself and the choices that you did take or didn't take. I personally believe that in our journey, there are no right or wrong decisions. Whenever we take, quote and unquote, a wrong decision, it's only because we're acting by fear or any other emotion. And therefore, we need to go through that moment. We need to go through that situation so then we can wake up. And in that, and that's when we realize more things about ourselves. That's when we start to connect a little bit more to ourselves. Yes, of course, life will be easier if we were always able to stay connected and always make the right decision. But the truth is that we wouldn't learn. So all of the challenges times are there to help us understand more of ourselves and learn lessons so that we can move forward in flow. So if this is where you're at, I really want you to release the judgment, and I really want you to just let go and forgive yourself for everything you've done or you haven't done, for everything you have allowed or you haven't allowed, that might have caused you some trouble. And if you're feeling a bit sad or not satisfied, or like you should have done more, or you should have made a different decision, let go of that and be grateful, because you are aware of this and you are here and you're looking at what's happened this year. And now you have the desire to better yourself, because it's all about awareness, and it's all about really understanding what can we do to make better decisions, to be a better person, to be to feel better. It's all about that. So I don't want to get too long on this episode, because I know you might be celebrating Christmas, but I hope this is helpful. And I know that a lot of you, a lot of us, are always criticizing ourselves. I know I've been there this year, particularly mid-year. I was like, oh, this should have been like this. I should have done this. I should have done that. But the truth is that everything happens for a reason. And I'm never going to stop saying this, even when I am in the midst of my challenges. And I'm like, what the fuck? But the truth is that we are here to learn, and we learn by making mistakes. This is an honest truth. All right. I'm gonna leave you here, and I hope this episode was helpful. As I said to you at the beginning, this is the last episode of 2024, but it's also one of the last episodes of this season. Next week, you're going to have an amazing guest. We will talk about quantum shift and how to shift your energy. So I thought that was a perfect episode for the first episode of the year. And then there's going to be my last episode of the season on the 8th of January, as I needed to take a little bit of a break and recoup, because there is so much that I'm connecting so much with my intuition. I don't think I've ever felt so connected to my guides and to my intuition, and so much is coming up. And I want to take the time to really let all of this come, because I have some amazing things happening. I'm going to start doing free workshops and a lot of other things, but stay tuned so that you know what's happening and how to sign up for it. Sign up to my newsletter. I will be guiding you through this. You just have to click on the link in the show notes and you can sign up, and you will see when everything is coming. I'm just going to take a little bit of time to just rest, not be online, so that I can actually create and connect with all of these amazing things that are really, really urging me to come out and be shared. So stay tuned. Listen to all of the other episodes if you found this podcast helpful. And I wish you an amazing Christmas and an amazing start of the new year. feel free to connect with me through Instagram at The Intuition Queen, or connect with me via website theintuitionqueen.com. If you are feeling like working with me, all of my offers are in there. Send me a message for any questions you might have. And thank you so much for watching and for listening, and I'll see you next week. Happy New Year. Bye.